This is part 2 of Do the Basics. So numbers 6 through 10 of what you can do to make your company elite, to make your company valuable, whether you're seeking capital, whether you're looking to sell a business, or whether you want to keep growing a profitable enterprise. So number 6, know the next 3 product steps for your company. What do we mean by product steps? What is the next update, evolution, capability, feature, thing you're going to do? And it may be something new, and it may be something evolved, or it may just be something more efficient within it, right? Oh, well, this one part of the process we're going to make more efficient by automating this or implementing this or doing it this way. But know the 3 steps, right? No product should be stale, no service should be stale. And so you should really be able to define what are the next 3 things you're going to do over whatever time frame to improve the thing that you are providing to your customers. Because again, businesses are like milk or they're like wine. They're going to get better or they're going to get staled and spoiled. And so you need to know what those next 3 things are. Number 7, the concept of more. And so a lot of times people have a fairly successful business and they say, well, how do I make it better? How do I become more profitable? Maybe we're going to do all these different things. Maybe we're going to change this, change that. And sometimes the answer is just more. Iterate. Okay, you're doing this for this many customers. They're happy about it. Why can't you do it for more customers? Well, this is how many are coming in. Well, what are you doing in terms of outbound marketing? What are you doing in terms of getting new customers? Well, we do this amount. Well, what would happen if you doubled that amount? What would happen if you tripled that amount? What would happen if you 10x that amount? And if the answer is, well, we'd probably get more, then just do more. Just fill the top of that sausage making machine a little bit more, watch how it all pulls through, and I can almost guarantee you that in 99.9% of businesses, there is an adequate field or addressable market that more outbound will ultimately yield more inbound. And so think of more. The concept of number 8 is better. And so we say, okay, first do more, next do better. And this ties back somewhat to the product evolution, but think of it from the process standpoint within your business, fulfillment, sales, operations. Think of it from the people within your business. Think of it from the actual product, service, or offering that you're offering in the sales process and the marketing process. What can be done better? And we always suggest for companies as they're growing to really map out the entirety of the company. Make a roadmap of what a customer would experience, what a client would experience from the first time they hear about you or hear from you, all the way through coming on board, getting your service, product, or offering, and then what happens after. And I can guarantee you, if you can break your business down into 50 micro things that happen along the way, a good amount of them can be improved. And figure out how they can be improved, how they can be made better. You're not going to wholesale change any one component of your business by 50% likely. However, you can change 10 to 20 of these 50 components by 1 to 2%, and over the large scale, the pull through of what that means in terms of profit is going to be more significant than you may imagine. And so what can you make better within your business? Number 9, and this one we caution people against, or caveat to be very careful when they're doing, is different. And so more, iterate, iterate, iterate. Better, what can you improve within the business or any part of the business, and then different. So always in that order, more, better, different. Different being the last thing is to say, okay, as the business is growing, what are ways we can be different? And we like to say evolution, not revolution. Don't change everything about a company. If something is working, then what is the next kind of logical step, right? If you are providing services to doctors' offices, well, could you sell the same services to larger ambulatory practices, to non-hospital surgery centers? Could you go into hospitals, right? But don't say, okay, we're selling these things to doctors' offices. Maybe we should sell them to amusement park operators, right? Think of logical iterations of a business. If you're going to be different, always have a way of tying it back. The best thing you can do when selling in business is to say you've done exactly what the person is looking for you to do, right? The next best thing is that you've done something very similar, where there is some level of connection, where there is a tie together. Oh, well, we used to do this for orthopedic practices, and so now we do it for cardiovascular practices. We used to do this for dermatologists, and now we think we can do it for dentists, right? There's at least a logical connection there. But if you start saying, okay, we did this for steel fabricators, and now we're going to do it for cotton candy manufacturing companies, it's difficult. And you may be able to thread that needle, and it can be done if there's enough overlap, but think from the buyer's perspective, what's more logical, what connects? And so when we say different can work, but again, evolution, not revolution. Don't try to recreate the wheel. Don't deviate and create a wild appendage for your company that's not going to be congruent with what you're doing. Be congruent, let it grow organically, where everything kind of ties together. Keep pushing out the elastic band from there. And lastly, number 10, sell results, not hope. The greatest testimonies you can provide, the greatest support you can ever provide as you grow your business are results for people just like those that you're selling to. If someone wants to do a thing, buy a product, say this is the product we sold to someone just like you, this is the thing we did for someone just like you, and these were the results. So it's not just predicated on, well, we hope we can do this, and I would love it if we could do this. Here are the hard results of things that we've done, and the more testimonials, the more data points, the more people that can speak highly on your behalf, it will only compound. So that's an element to focus on. And the bonus to all of this, to wrap up all 10 points as to doing the basics, and again, we mentioned it in the last video, is that people will say, well, this seems very difficult, this seems hard, this seems like it's going to take a lot of work. And the answer is yes, yes, and yes. Life is hard. Now it's going to be, like we said in the last video, hard because you're making something exceptional, or it's going to be hard because you're not exceptional. However, what we will say in this video that's a touch different is that there's a bit of adaptation along the way. So think of the concept of, I think they call it the hedonistic adaptation, right? If you were to just eat chocolate bars all day, then maybe day one would be awesome, day two would be okay, day three would just be what you ate, right? And so you adapt to it. And that particular concept is to be antithetical to the idea that you should just indulge in all the stupidities of the world, because at some point it's just going to be your everyday life and it's not going to be rewarding. But conversely, the same concept can be applied to pain, to things that are uncomfortable. And so a lot of people say as they're growing their business, I mean, we've all experienced it to some degree. Every day I go to work, I feel like I'm going to vomit. There's so much pressure, there's so much uncertainty. What if we do all of this and it doesn't work? Well, look, these things are hard, and that's what hard feels like in large part. But what we can say is that there is a similar adaptation to pain thresholds. And so as you're pushing through business, making the decisions, doing these basics, doing these fundamentals over and over and over again, you're ultimately going to get to a level where what you're doing comfortably every day is what would have made you cry in the bathroom 5 years ago. And that continues to progress. And there's layers and layers and layers, and it just keeps evolving. And to some degree, it's kind of a perpetual game. But the idea being is that you will feel very uncomfortable until one day you don't. And at that point, you can enjoy that brief period, push forward to the next level of discomfort. But that's largely how businesses grow. You do the fundamentals, you do the basics, you do the unextraordinary things for an extraordinarily long period of time, extraordinarily consistently, and you ultimately push to the point of discomfort, break through and push to the next level of discomfort, and so on and so forth, until someday you're in the rarefied air and you hardly recognize some things that used to keep you up all night. So that's the thought for today. Do the basics, part 2 here. Kind of tying all of the concepts together. Hope the week continues to go well for everyone. Keep pushing forward. God bless. We'll see everyone next time.